So this video will pick up right where the last video left off, so just go ahead and continue your notes. We're going to take a look at order of operations. Our first expression is 32 divided by 8 times 4. So thinking about the 4 steps in order of operations, I don't have any grouping symbols. I don't have any exponents. So I will divide and multiply left to right. So as I'm reading this equation left to right, I see the division symbol first, so I will divide first. 32 divided by 8 is 4, and 4 times 4 is 16. All right, my next example. Again, I don't see any grouping symbols, but this time I do see an exponent. By the way, there is a shortcut versus just following those 4 steps in rigid order. Because the last step is subtraction and addition, if you see any terms that are separated by a subtraction or an addition sign, you can simplify those simultaneously. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. In my first term, I've got the exponent, so I have to perform that before the multiplication. And then in my second term, I've got 12 divided by 3. Looking at the expression, my first term, separated by the plus sign, I've got the 4 times 9, so that gives me 36. And 36 plus 4 is 40. All right, my last one, I do see grouping symbols. They are not parentheses, but I've got some brackets grouping it. And I've got a plus sign, but my first term here is already simplified, so I can't simplify my 2 terms simultaneously. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify within my brackets first. And I've got the multiplication coming before addition. And then, of course, the brackets, similar to parentheses, means multiply. So I will take my 3 times. I'm going to go ahead and simplify that. The 2 plus 6 gives me 8. 3 times 8 is 24. And 5 plus 24 is 29. Evaluate each expression. So a little bit more practice, maybe a little bit more challenging order of operation problems. First step is grouping symbols. My fraction bar acts like a grouping symbol. What that means is I will simplify my numerator and simplify my denominator, and the very last thing that I will do is divide. So in my numerator, I've got my multiplication. 2 times 7 is 14. In my denominator, I have 9 divided by 3, which is 3. 14 plus 4 is 18, divided by 3 is 6. Alright, so on this problem, we have grouping symbols with an exponent. So I'm supposed to do my grouping symbols first, but inside my grouping symbols, I've got 2 divided by 3, which is not a nice number. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this as a fraction, and what I'm going to do is distribute my exponent instead. So this is one of our exponent rules, that if you have all multiplication or division inside a parenthesis, you can distribute your exponent. So this is going to become 2 cubed over 3 cubed. Remember, an exponent means multiply the base by itself however many times the exponent is. So I'm going to write this out the long way. For those of you that might need a refresher, if you already know how to evaluate 2 cubed, you can go ahead and skip this step. But what it means is 2 times itself 3 times, because 3 is the exponent. And same in the denominator, I will have 3 times itself 3 times. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Alright, last one on this page. We've got 2 sets of grouping symbols, the absolute values. So I will evaluate what's inside those first. 5 minus 11 is negative 6. 6 minus 3 is 3. Absolute value, remember distance from 0. Negative 6 is 6 units from 0. 3 is 3 units from 0. 6 minus 3 is 3. All right, this one we will do on the next video because I think it's going to take longer than a minute.